let's start. Welcome to Insurrection's first step log. Insurrection is a top-down puzzle shooter game where you play as a tank trying to infiltrate an enemy base and, well, be the insurrection. Take it over. In this first step log, I will be going over the features currently available in the game, as well as certain issues I have faced in the process of trying to get it to work. Right now, the main features consist of showing gameplay, functional menu screens. That's not everything. We also currently have full WASD control, as well as a turret that follows the camera's movement angles. Early in the development of this, one of the very first issues I came across had to do with the rotation of the tank's chassis during control. Because generally it couldn't move by itself at first, due to hard limitations of the software. Implementing WASD control, it is now mobile in all directions, as well as it has rotation, which rotation utilizes a whole bunch of math to determine its current angle versus the target angle based on what keys are actively being pressed to figure out how to rotate it at a reasonable speed to get to that angle without it looking like the tank is just phasing through reality to change direction. It's still phasing through reality, but that is for different reasons. And then secondarily, we have the turret motion, which is based off of a string of math equations in here to get the mouse position alongside the turret's center point, the center point of the turret itself, to then calculate what angle it needs to face and then rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise from that to actually make sure that the barrel is pointing at the player's mouse. That creates this appearance that we have here. The immediate issue I received after that was with collision, because collision is awful. There was a short period in the collision mathematics where you would collide with a wall correctly, and you would move against the wall like this, and then immediately phase out of reality and into the abyss that exists off screen. You don't want that. You can't do much with that. Going over the issues, I quickly discovered that hey, maybe correcting the position the right way would help. So basically, you would collide with a wall like that, and it would try to correct it by, instead of moving you backwards slightly off of the wall, it would move you down towards the bottom of the screen, which is what caused the clipping through reality. A whole bunch of hitboxes interacting with each other in ways that you don't really want. It's fixed now. Walls collide correctly, except for the few times where they don't let you move. Which just assume there's a bump in the wall that your treads are caught on and ignore it because I don't know how to fix it. From there, I was able to get that fixed. I went on to start to implement these wooden walls alongside these cracked walls here, which, let's make this a little bigger, had the outstanding issue of only one of them could exist at a time. The only reason that happened was due to a fundamental misunderstanding from my part on how static worked in a variable sense, in like an object-oriented programming sense. Basically meaning that I created this code that would generate the wall, but I had the whole thing set to static, so it would create the wall and then run into the issue of the walls only having one instance of them being able to be created at any given time. That's what static does. Static makes it so your object-oriented programming all references one object. You can't create multiple instances of an object with static. So I made it its own file and removed the static caveat. Was still running into an issue though, where only one wall would render. So I was working on it, digging into this file, which is the interactables base, used to generate the destructible walls. And these three here. When you have a static class and a subclass of a parent class, so located right underneath this draw, I would have another class built into this main class. That was the destructible walls. That class has to be static, and everything that that class references needs to be static as well. So, static variable, and running into issues, I never turned these three into non-statics when I converted everything out of being static. Which means that it errored out. It was still referring to only a singular object of the texture, sprite, and hitbox. Not good. Messes up collision, messes up everything. Dropped the static, fixed it instantly. Surprisingly, though, wasn't expecting it. So it's fixed now. Everything works as intended. Collide with the walls, can't get through them. And then also you collide with these walls, can't get through those either, which is exactly what you want to have happen when you drive into a wall. Then we come to the other issue, which this is actually the second time I've recorded this video and took note of all of these errors. And I ran into an issue of the walls, the bullets not spawning in. And it's like, so why aren't the bullets spawning in? It's like they're being treated as though they were being treated as though they were outside of the interactable space before even though they should have been on screen. So I started bug fixing, doing my thing, checking everything, and it turns out these two return statements, the return true, return false of the isOutScreen function, were backwards. So when it was in the screen, which is what it was checking for here, it would return false and claim that it was outside the screen, instead of returning true, like it was supposed to. Fixed it, and now the bullets spawn in. Problem becomes I mess up the vectoring for the bullets. They travel infinitely in that direction now. I gotta fix that. I need to control the direction that they travel, and also rotate them so that they are at the same rotation as the turret, which should be pretty easy. That is just to take the rotation value of the turret and share it with the bullet, and when I'm drawing the bullet, assign the rotation. Disregard how big they are, I messed up. I gotta fix that. I forget how to fix it. It should be pretty simple, all things considered, though, so hopefully that goes well. And then I can start to implement them actually, colliding with things, because, they're bullets. They shoot things like walls that can be destroyed, or enemy tanks, or bosses when I get to those. In the previous iteration of this, I did determine that the error with the isOutScreen function during recording of it. So there's an audio-free version of this video that shows that off, and yeah, it makes me feel kind of stupid now. Like, how did I mess that up? It happens. Well, let me know what you think, any changes that need to be done, and also, there will be a GitHub repository in the comments, not the comments, the description of this video, so if you guys want to look over my code, propose any changes, optimization, anything like that, I am still learning, I am willing to take help. Let me know. And also, this is programmed in Android Studio utilizing the libgdx library for Java. It's open source, you can find it online. Lots of other popular games have been made with this software before. Just fix it, find any errors, look it over, do whatever you want. It doesn't run yet. You need to have a copy of Android Studio set up to run it and actually play test it. I don't have any executable files made yet. Don't worry about that. That will happen when it's ready. Well, bye, I guess.